Hello and welcome to the United Stand. How are you all doing this evening? Massive day in the UK, election day. Are you strong and stable, or are you for the few for the many, or something like that? I don't care. I've done my vote, and I'm not one of those people who rams it down your throat. And that rhymes, and I'm a lyric, and I'm a poet, and I didn't know it. But how are we all doing? I want to talk about football. That's what I want to talk about. That's my drug, that's my release, and I think it is yours, Manchester United. So let's fly into it. It will be a Skype show. You will get your chance. I'll open that up in a moment, but let's hit you with the headlines first. You might have other things you want to talk about, but I always like to try and feed stuff in. So, Morata and Perisic to be agreed, or finalised, in the next few days in relation to Manchester United moves. And finalised can mean both ways. It doesn't mean they're going to sign, but I do think there are a couple of things that are of interest, and that would be that Morata's agent has come out and said that it will be finalised in the next few days. And in relation to Perisic, Manchester United are apparently very, very close to the €55 million fee that Inter want, which, for those who don't realise, is about £47 million sterling. £47 million for Perisic? Is he having a laugh? Unbelievable. I like Perisic, but he's 28. He's never played for a top club. He's not worth £47 million. But I'll rein it in before everyone goes into meltdown. That is this summer for you. It is overpriced summer. Lukaku, if he goes for 100 million, then Perisic is probably worth 47 million because they're both worth half of that. So we'll have to wait and see. But Mourinho seems to have set his sights on that. I'll be amazed if we pay 47 million, to be honest. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But apparently in the next few days. And what I would report as well, I've not heard anybody mentioning this, so I would say this. Spain are playing on Sunday night and Croatia are playing on Sunday night, and then they've completed their international games until September. We're not going to sign Morata tomorrow. We're not going to sign Perisic tomorrow. They're on international duty. They've both got World Cup qualifiers on Sunday. I'll be amazed if their national coaches allow them to come out and sign for Manchester United, so it's not going to happen before Monday for them. We might sign somebody else before Monday, but it won't be anybody who's involved in international football, of which Morata and Perisic, as far as I'm concerned, are both. So neither are going to sign before Sunday, and I've not heard anybody saying that. We don't want to mug United fans off. We want to feed it you true. We don't want to keep building it, saying it's going to happen, it could happen. It's not going to officially happen until before then, because they're not going to be left, I wouldn't have thought. So interesting to see what happens, but I'll be happy with both of those. I do sense a bit of a meltdown in relation to Perisic, if we spend a lot of money on, and Morata to a certain extent as well, I suppose. Draughty Devil says, if you put political comments up, we will put you on a timeout, which I think is very fair. There's still an hour and a half to vote, so we want a blanket on voting. We don't, unless you're subscribing to the United Stand and voting for the United Stand. That's the only political thing you're allowed to vote for tonight. So like the United Stand, vote for the United Stand, and that's about it. But Matt agrees, says he's not happy with Morata. Kevin McHugh says it's his birthday, so a big shout out for him. Monaco did buy Tillemans, Callum Smith. I did know about that. But the interesting thing I wanted to say as well about Morata, and you may have seen me tweet it before, Real Madrid want £78 million, and even in this summer of overinflation, they bought Morata back a year ago for about £28 million from Juventus, and they basically kept him on the bench all season. How can he go up by 200% in value on a season where you put him on the bench? 28 million to 78 million. Again, ridiculous. Absolute joke. £60 million should be the limit we play for Morata, and that would be doubling his value in a year when he's been sat on their bench. He's done well when he's played, but he's been a bench player. And they're having an absolute laugh. They really are. Dwarfy15 wants me to create my own political party. Yeah, we'll have Mad Marcus as Home Secretary. No shit given. We'll have Draughty as the what can Draughty be? Creative Sports Minister. That'd be good. Yeah. We'd do okay. But how much did Barcelona pay for Suarez? Don't care. Douglas Costa for 34 million, says Danny 17 Bod. If you think we're going to sign Douglas Costa as well, he's in Australia with Brazil. Won't be back for about a week and a half. So you've got to look at things like that. But so he has followed a lot of people on Instagram, Morata. I think United are fully going out for Morata. I don't think there's anything. Dorothy wants to be the foreign secretary or military. As long as you're not liberal left, we don't want an arty-farty thing. We want hard line opinion. That's what we give on the United stand for everybody. Suarez cost 75 million apparently, according to United Fan Tube. Remember, everybody, this is going to be a Skype show. I'm going to open it up in a minute, so drop a like on the video, share it. Let's get loads of people watching, because how nice it is if you get the call. If you're on the call and you look down and you see 3,000 people watching. Not many times in your life you'll get to talk to 3,000 people. In fact, Man City fans don't get that, do they? They'll be lucky if anyone listens. But in relation to Morata, following people on Instagram, I think he will come to United, and his agent has come out and said that it will be finalised in the next few days. And what can Real Madrid offer him other than last season? They can't offer him first team football, and I think that's what he wants, and I think that's what he'll get. Let me just take this. We've got Ranuk Dash. Would you rather give Pereira first team opportunity or buy James? Very good question. What does everybody else think? I think if we got Perisic and Morata in the attacking positions and we got Fabinho, Lindelof, I'd rather play Pereira. But that's me. I wouldn't have seen him given a chance. And Tyler Colehern has made a contribution. Thank you. He says, money is nothing to Manchester United. Perisic is a great player with qualities that Mourinho likes. We could get Morata for about 60 if we pay more up front, which is fair enough. The money doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter. I've got to say that. And Jake Bullman's not happy about any of our rumours. Just before I do open the calls, there's a couple of things that I need to mention to you as well, which you may want to bring into your calls. One, Zlatan is apparently going to be released tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day where United announce players that will be released from their contracts. So I wouldn't expect Rooney to be released because we want some money for him. But Zlatan, it's a rolling contract thing, so you'd expect him to be released tomorrow, and that's the rumour. So we'll react to that tomorrow if that happens. And Mourinho is reported to have rented out his room at in Manchester Hotel for the Lowry for another year. What do you think about that? He wants to stay in a hotel for another year. I'd had hopes that he might buy himself a house. I think there's that little bit of what if things go wrong and Mourinho throws his toys out of the plan? A lot of people say he never stays anywhere longer than a couple of years. I'd like him to buy a house up in Manchester, move his family up, and show a bit of commitment, because Manchester United is a full-time job, and I personally would like him to do that. But yes, so Morata and Perisic look like they will be finalised in the next few days. Not before Sunday, though, because they're both playing international football. Very important that people get that into their head. It's not being fed out by anybody. All you hear is, oh, Morata's very close, but nobody's telling you the truth, that he's going to be playing an international qualifier on Sunday. He's not going to be signing for it through there. I can't see that happening at all. So that's an exclusive from the United stand for both him and Perisic, because I've not seen anybody saying that. Zlatan to be let go tomorrow, and Mourinho another year in a hotel. And anything else, I want you to call in and not just talk about those things. I want to hear what you've got to say about Belletti, anybody, Fabinho. You want to talk about anything. This is your show now. I'm plugging in that ear, not the other orifice, and it will be your show. So let's get it on. Boom, music should kick in there. Yeah, let's crack on, everybody. Get a bit excited, but yeah, I do like the Skype show, and I'm ready for you, so bring it on. Skype Goldbridge, all one word. Type it out if you're on Skype. Search for me, Skype Goldbridge, all one word. Hit the floor and give us a go. A lot of you say, can I respond to your contact request on Skype? I don't need to. You just call. I can still pick up the call. You don't need to be a friend. You can still do it. Skype's just uploading at the moment, so high CPU usage detected. You may experience performance problems, so you may hit a bit of lag, which is annoying, but hopefully it will settle down a bit. I don't know why about that, but come on, I'm waiting for you. Get Skyping. It is your show, it is your opportunity, and I want to hear what you've got to say. Yes. Okay. We've got loads of callers now, which is fantastic. Let's hit one. Absolute bloody hell. There's loads of you. Loads of you calling. Right, I'm going to hit one. Let's try somebody I had promised to call. Let's see if they're calling just before I take one of you lot. No, they're not there. Okay. Swing Race X, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, you're live on the United Stand, pal. What did you want to talk about?
Well, I wanted to talk about Morata, actually.
Okay.
So, when we do sign him, how much more important do you think would it be to get a pacey winger? Someone like Perisic obviously would fill the bill for me. But, I'm sorry, can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly, mate, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, what do you think? I mean, Morata definitely won't pick up our pace in terms of our attack. So I think it would be especially important if we got.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. Okay. That was Skype just completely shut down there. So while I'm getting myself back in, and hopefully I can get that call back as well. It's funny, isn't it, how life works really? Because when it comes to pacey winger, the reality is only last night we saw Morata for Spain scoring a goal from a pacey winger running down the wing and putting a cross in, and he gets on the end of it. And whether the one thing that annoys me a little bit about United and many teams these days is the inability really to use natural width, where a left-footed player plays on the left and a right-footed player comes in on the right. And I used to play as a defender myself, and if you are a defender and you've got Juan Mata who's left-footed playing on the right and he's always coming back inside and whipping in across towards you, or actually on the left-hand side coming back onto his right and whipping across in towards you, if you're a centre-back, you're looking at the cross because it's whipping towards you. You're looking at the cross. If you're getting a left footer or a right footer on those flanks putting it in, you're always facing your goal. You're not facing the cross, and that is the better cross to put in. So Perisic down the left with Morata up front would be very favourable. Look, Skype Goldbridge, I'm back now, so do get calling, but I don't know, she's. Bear with me, everybody. I'll sort this out. But I'm back. Should I be back working normally now? Hello? Are we back? Hello? Hello. Are we getting back? Well, I've got a contribution from Craig McCullough Games who says, your thoughts on Nainggolan? He refuses to rule out a move to Manchester United. I'm back working now, which is great. Right, screw Skype. We'll sort that out. I'll probably do it tomorrow night for you. We've lost like 600 views because of lag. Wrecked my audio with that. I'm really frustrated with that. We've had so many problems with live content lately that it's really starting to wind me up, if I'm honest with you, because it's almost like we're being sabotaged by somebody, if you get my drift, because we've always been very, very good at the live content, and it is a Skype show, and I want it to be a Skype show, but it's lagging. So what I'm going to do on the huff, on the live, get your comments and your questions in, and I'll hit the comments, and we'll do Skype tomorrow for you. That's really annoying. Really annoying. I think there's a problem with Skype. Okay, so AJ says, Mark, any news about James and what will happen to our current strikers if we sign him? The last I'd heard about, well, I can give you a little bit of news there that I wasn't going to mention. The little bit of news I know is that George Mendes is in Italy, and George Mendes is Mourinho's agent. There was disinformation going out around lunchtime that Mendes is Belotti's agent. He's not. Belotti's agent is Italian. There was then rumour that Mendes was going over to sort of broker a deal with Belotti. I reported last night that AC Milan had offered about 30-something million. The buyout clause for Belotti in relation to foreign clubs is 90. But the talk later on this afternoon was that Jorge Mendes was actually in Italy to talk to Inter Milan about a deal for James Rodriguez. So that's the last I'd heard. Moses made a contribution. He says Morata can handle being a lone striker with Herrera, Pogba, and maybe James Rodriguez to feed him long and creative balls. He can do wonders. Morata's not that slow. The caller who got cut off then, unfortunately, Morata isn't slow by any means. Zlatan is somebody who lacks pace. But Anthony McDonough says, how do I Skype you? You don't at the moment, Anthony, because every time I go on Skype, we're getting a load of lag, which I suspect I've got good connection. I suspect maybe because it's election night or something might be going on. But it's a little bit frustrating, to say the least. I will try it again. Don't worry about that. It's frozen. It's not frozen, Dave Miller. Everything's fine. Morata is slow, a bit like Costa, says Marion Goldbridge. I like the name, but you're wrong. He's not slow. I mean, if Zlatan's slow, Morata's would be in the middle ground between Zlatan and Rashford, to be honest. Morata has already played with Pogba. Feel like he would settle soon, says Matthew. Very good point. Both of them played together in Juventus. And saw an article today that Madrid are happy to sell Bale to United to Sterling Jones. Well, if it happens, it happens, but I don't expect it to. Science Lover says Stephen El Shaarawy from AS Roma is a good winger. And Zach MU says try Skype again. What's happening with the Mbappe deal, says the real Tuju. I think what people are getting a little bit lost in here at the moment is that a lot of players are on international duty and will be on international duty until the middle of next week. Then they'll go on holiday for a couple of weeks. So I expect things to happen in June, but it's not going to be boom, 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 boom. I think it's going to be a steady little trickle, because there are people who are playing international football, so you can't get things done. Morata went on United following spree on Instagram, says Natan Ibrahimovic. Yes, we've covered that. And there is two options. Either we go three in midfield. That means one behind Herrera and Pogba. For me, that would be Nainggolan. I can never do it. For me, that case, we can't go for number 10 because we have wide players and one striker. That's from Mihoville. And Morata is perfect for Jose Mourinho's tactics. And why is Belotti release clause 87 million outside of Italy, says Breach69. I don't know. I queried that last night, but a lot of you were saying that it's a domestic one. He's cheaper, which is a bit weird. Abu says, what about Lacazette? We don't know what's happening with Lacazette. It's gone a bit quiet, hasn't it? And Morata is not the quality of player we need. Much prefer Lacazette, says Dan. Dan, I don't know where some people get their information from, but Lacazette and Morata, if you compare the two, Morata's on a different level. He's actually done it in Serie A, he's done it in international football, and he's done it in the Champions League. Lacazette hasn't done it in any of those. He doesn't play for France. He hasn't done it in the Champions League, and he plays in what is a pub league. So, I'm sorry, if people are saying Lacazette's better than Morata, you're very wrong, in my opinion, very wrong, and the facts back me up. Right, I am going to give Skype another go. Dun, dun, dun. And if it goes again, then obviously we've got a problem tonight. But we'll give it a go, see what happens, and hopefully we can get it up and running. But it might be a Skype issue tonight. In fact, I can already see the second I open Skype. Oh no, wait a minute. I can tell on my screen if it starts to lag. And at the moment, I'm still running okay. We're logging on. Computer says high CPU usage detected. You may experience problems. I can't understand why that is. Why we're getting so much CPU usage, but we're staying. Well, the trouble is, as soon as the calls kick in, that's when the lag started last time. So let's see what happens. Okay, we're steady at the moment. I'm going to try a call as soon as it settles down. Okay, I've got my caller from before. Can you hear me, pal?
Hello.
Hello. Sorry about that. We've had problems, so hopefully we won't have problems again. You mentioned I covered your question anyway. Did you have anything else you wanted to mention? Well,
okay. So then my other question then would be the way the way Mourinho usually plays his fullbacks. He usually plays one, bombs up. Usually his right back, his left back usually sits back. So to me, that means Luke Shaw's finished. I don't see him using two bombing fullbacks. What do you think? Do you think he can change to two bombing fullbacks, have his CDM drop back between his two center backs? Do you think that's something that he would do?
I think us as Manchester United fans would like to see that happen, because Manchester United has always been, especially at Old Trafford games, I always think first 20 minutes, fullbacks bombing on past the wingers, peppering crosses into the box. And certainly with somebody like Morata in the box, that's exactly what he would like. But you're spot on. Mourinho does tend to have one fullback who sits back and one who goes forward. Certainly in the Premier League, when you think about Azpilicueta, Ivanovic, these are basically centre-backs at fullback. Will he break from the mould? I don't know. I can't remember what he used to do at Madrid or Inter Milan, or whether it was just an exclusive Premier League thing. But what is interesting, and it's the second time I've heard it now, it was said about a month ago, and apparently he said it on international duty, Matteo Darmian saying he doesn't know whether his future's at Manchester United, and he would be that fullback who sits back.
And I think he played that role perfectly, which is why I think he got a little trust from Mourinho at the end of the season there. I think that's why he started to catch a lot more playing time. So if that's the case, if he does decide to go with two bombing fullbacks, why wouldn't someone like Eric Dyer be a perfect CDM for him? I mean, that guy does exactly what you would need if you had two bombing fullbacks. He likes to drop in between the two center backs. I mean, he would be a perfect signing if Mourinho does go to a two bombing fullback system.
Yeah, I agree. I spoke about Eric Dyer a few times, and Alex on Sunday night was on about it as well. The one I want is Fabinho, and until Fabinho doesn't sign for us and signs for anybody else, then I'll look at other options. But whilst he's still free and nobody signed him, he would be my number one choice over Eric Dyer, and I think he'd be very good at sitting as well. I think Herrera can do that job, but I think Herrera has got so much more to offer in an attacking sense. I don't want to see Herrera sat doing it next year unless we need him to do that. So, and then you're right, that allows people to bomb forward. Just to bring a question into you, D-Wash Girl says, Mark, you said we're going to sign a big player this summer. Well, it was going to be Griezmann, obviously. Do you think we will go out and make a big signing? I mean, Morata's a good player, but he's not like a if you're Real Madrid, he's not a Galactico, is he? So do you think we will? And who do you think we might go for?
I think he splits the money. Actually, I don't think we put. I don't think we put 90 million on one player. I think we split it. I think we get Morata plus we spread it out. I'd love to see Fabinho coming in, Perisic obviously. I'd like to see us going for Costa or Sanchez. My problem though is I'd like to see him stick with a 4-3-3. I'd like to see him reward Herrera for his Player of the Year season, and I'd like Herrera to be number one on the team sheet. You would have Pogba, Herrera, and then Fabinho would be great right there. Sanchez maybe would be great with the midfield three. My fear is he goes to a 4-2-3-1. I really do not want to see him do that with Man United. I don't want to see Herrera stuck with the sitting midfielding role. I think the 10 is dead. I think the 10 is dead, honestly. I'd like to see us go with that 4-3-3.
Yeah, you're not the only person to say that, and it will certainly be interesting to see what happens with it. But thanks for calling in. So glad we could get you back on. And calling from America?
Yeah, I'm calling from Arizona, actually.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, well, please do call in again, and a great first call.
Thanks for taking my call, Mark.
Cheers, pal. Thank you. Okay, we're up and running on Skype, which is great. I thought we were going to have to cancel the show. So I'm just going to hit somebody else very quickly, and we're going to go with Adam. Adam, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Maybe Skype's not that great. I'm not lagging yet, though, so we'll carry on. We'll try somebody else. Let's try... This person calls in a lot. I don't know whether they've been on before, but I always notice their name.
Hey, Mark.
Georgie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. What did you want to talk about?
I'd like to talk about Morata and strikers that we should probably get this summer.
Okay. Well, it looks like Morata will be the signing that we go for, that we want. Are you happy with that, or do you think we should be going for somebody else?
I think with what's available right now, I think Morata would be a perfect fit because Belotti, I'd say, how to put it, he's playing in the Italian league, which is a bit of a pub league, and he's done it against. He's more like Lukaku. He shows up for the small games. If you check his stats, actually, he shows up for the small games, but in the big games, he goes missing. So I think with Morata he has much more to offer. He's only 23, so Mourinho has time to mold him into the striker that he wants. So I'll probably go for Morata. And the thing is, I'd like to add on this. I think we should have a front four that can score and assist. I was checking the stats today, and I realized that aside from Ibrahimovic, who scored 28 goals, Rooney, Martial, Rashford, and Lingard combined for less than 30 goals last season, which is absolutely shocking. If you look at the season we won the Champions League, we had Ronaldo, Rooney, and Tevez, basically our front three. They all combined for 106 goals and 27 assists between them. So if we could have players, if Mourinho is going for Perisic, Morata, I think we should have a right winger who can also assist and score as many as the two can. At least 10 to 15 goals for a winger. That would be really good.
You're going a little bit muffled there, but just to basically what was being said there is that from Georgie is that a bit like the previous call, let's maybe potentially move away from the number 10, which is an interesting development tonight. That's why I like the Skype calls, because we start to go into a theme that maybe I never would have covered. Maybe let's move away from that number 10, have a strong midfield 3, which will suit Pogba, because at Juventus, he played in a midfield 3, he didn't have a 10 ahead of him. Get some natural width and Morata up front. And I think, so if we got Perisic on the left and we get somebody who can actually play down the right-hand side, maybe Mkhitaryan, start putting some decent balls into the box. Morata would feed off that. A strong midfield 3, maybe bring a Fabinho in to play with Herrera and Pogba, or you can bring a number 10 in there if you want. But there's a good point here as well. Just before I ask you a question, Georgie, Moses made a contribution on the live comments, and he says, it's better to have a slow, strong forward than a fast, weak striker. And Morata is not slow. He's a balanced striker, and he's a perfect for a number 9. Morata.
I think.
Go on.
The thing we had last season was we played with Ibrahimovic, and Ibrahimovic he's strong, but he doesn't have the pace. So teams would actually play 10 feet above, next to the halfway line, which means we couldn't. The only way we could play is through the counter attack. And 9 times out of 10, unless your counter attack is really perfect, it won't work out. So we need Morata, which will actually put the opposition's defense on the hills, so they can play much deeper, which will give us more time to play position football and build discipline.
I think the thing about Morata as well is, if anybody's ever watched anything about him, the one thing Morata's got, and you don't need massive pace to do this, his movement is fantastic. He's really, even for the goal last night, but if you watch and you've seen a lot of him, his movement's really good in and around the box. He'll typical striker really. You make one run, but then you'll dart off into another place, and he's very, very good at creating space for others and also create space for himself. But fantastic call, Georgie. Please do call again. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Nairobi, Kenya.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thanks for that call, pal, and please do call in again.
Sure thing, Mark. Thanks for picking up.
Thank you. I'm going to whiz straight into another call. Let's get... I'm trying to click. It's not working, which is annoying when it does that. Let's try Ricardo. Oh, no. I'm clicking people, and it's not having it. It's not having it. That might be Jamie. Jamie, can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mark.
How you doing, pal?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. I want to kind of talk about how at the minute all our transfer targets, people are mourning about them a bit.
Yeah.
I just think that, the man who can't be named, obviously, Griezmann, I mean, it's left a bit of a sour taste in most people's mouths. So I wanted to get your opinion on it. Because I think it's kind of like, because if you offered us the players that we're being linked to at the minute last year, chances are we'd have snapped your hand off. But I think it's to do with the fact that we've been linked with Griezmann the whole summer. We've kind of like compared every single player to him, if that makes sense. Like, if you go out with the fittest girl in the world, every single girl afterwards you're going to compare to that person, aren't you?
I know. I've been there. You are right. You are right. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you feel. I don't know how people at home feel. A week ago, and it was a week ago that this Griezmann deal collapsed. You know, I was ranting as I normally do. I wear my heart on the sleeve like a lot of you do. I think over the weekend I felt quite down. But I think, you know, Monday, certainly Tuesday, I actually feel quite positive about this transfer window again. I don't know how you feel, Jamie. And like I said, I don't know how people at home feel. But there definitely are still resonating fans out there who are still very, very negative. I look on Twitter and there's some great accounts that I follow on there. But I see a lot of negativity. I wouldn't name them because it's not fair on them. But they're like, you know, this is going to be the worst transfer window ever. We're a joke and this, that and the other. And I think it's way too early.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to admit, I was personally devastated. I tried handing in a sick notice at work because I was that depressed about it. It really, really, really did annoy me how it was so close but so far away, if that makes sense. But it's like with James Rodriguez. If you offered him to us last year, we'd have snapped your hand off. I personally would. And now all of a sudden we're like, oh, we don't really rate him. More like we're just comparing him to Griezmann and we're comparing the likes of Morata to other great players. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with Morata. I don't see there's any flaws in his game that are really pathetic, if that makes sense.
No, and I think, to be honest with you, it's Morata is. I mean, I have watched a lot of Morata, not just in La Liga, but also at Juventus. He's just a typical number 9, an absolutely typical number 9, and perfect. Really, there's not really anything. He's not 10 out of 10 at everything, but he's pretty much 8 out of 10 at everything, and I mean everything. So. And the most important thing, and I have to keep repeating it, is that Mourinho wants him. Mourinho knows everything about him. He debuted him at Real Madrid, and he wants him. And that might surprise a few people because we've been a bit used to, you know, the Galactico sort of signing. But Morata and Perisic, the great thing about those two that I opened the show about is Mourinho wants these players, and he knows what these players are about. And I think that's very important.
Yeah. I think we've just become a bit spoilt, maybe, without sounding harsh. But I mean, past few seasons, when you look at some of the players that we've signed, it's been incredible. I mean, we've had Di Maria, we've had Schweinsteiger and stuff like that. I mean, if you'd somehow kept on most of those players that actually have been, like Falcao, if he were at his best, can you imagine the team we'd have now? It'd be crazy.
Yeah, it would. It would. And I you know, I've sort of alluded that to myself at times. Said, you know, maybe there is a little bit of a spoiledness to United, but all I can say about these summer signings, it's not like last summer. These are Mourinho signings, and we'll just have to see what happens with them. But I'm very, very, very excited about it, and I do feel that there will be a big signing as well. I don't know what you think.
Well, you see, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't see it. I can't see a massive Galactico signing. I think it's just going to be a case of no thrills, hard workers, get on the pitch and just graft for me. Let the people like Pogba and Rashford and Martial, let them be the stars. I just need hard workers and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, you know what? I did say this last night. If we keep De Gea, that's like a new signing. If we bring Lindelof, Fabinho, Morata and Perisic in, that's 4 new signings. We get rid of Rooney, Zlatan, one of the centre-backs in Jones and Smalling. I'll be quite happy with that. But I've got to be honest, I do think we will. I keep saying it, and maybe I'll be wrong, but I just have a funny feeling that
you're living on hope.
That Mbappe will happen.
I don't get me wrong, I don't dislike him, but I think if we're going to offer youth, like I said the last time I phoned, I'd much rather Rashford get given the chance, even though for Mbappe it might be 20 times better than Rashford, but I don't know. It's an unproven thing, isn't it? If you do, like I said the other day about Kluivert Jr., maybe see how if Mbappe could do it in the harder league, maybe. I don't know, because he's done it in the Champions League as well, hasn't he? It's a weird one with Mbappe, really.
Okay, Jamie, thanks for calling. I'm getting a bit of lag again, so I'm just a little bit wary. But thanks for calling in, pal, and please do call in again.
No worries, buddy. Thank you very much, pal. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I think there's something wrong tonight. It's definitely when I open up Skype, which isn't normally problematic, but I'm perfect again now, so let's steady it down and take a couple of your comments. Bit V says, thanks for the contribution. He says, what are your thoughts on the English homegrown quota with the likes of Rooney and Jones possibly leaving and most of our targets being foreign? Is that a good reason to get Will Keane? I think that's a fantastic point. I don't know what the quota rules are because United never have a problem with it, but even then, we've still got Lingard, Rashford. We won't sell Smalling and Jones. Potentially Luke Shaw, and then you look at Twan Seaby as well. I know. Yeah. I mean, it might be a relevant point to be honest with you, but it's always a good idea to try and, if you're going to sign 4 players, signing 1 English player is probably preferable. But the problem is, who do you sign? Who would you bring to Manchester United who's an English player? Michael Keane as a backup centre back. Yeah, okay, I can sort of understand it. I don't think there's much of a difference between him and Chris Smalling. Eric Dyer's been mentioned. Maybe Danny Rose as a left back, but we've already got Luke Shaw, so I don't know. Somebody's just telling me just to check something on Twitter, so let me have a quick look, and then I can tell you if there's anything in it. No. I always like to check when we're live just to see if there's anything in it. The reality is, I can't be bothered to get into it, but at United Stand MUFC on Twitter is a great account to follow, is what I would say. But I see, I've been doing this for 4 years now, and every summer these accounts reappear again, and it is nonsense. And people start following them when they're called like MUFC Transfer News. I don't know whether that one's a real one, but or MUFC agents and stuff like this. And all they are, I could set one up myself. All they are people who troll around all the news stories and then just go off with different things. They are not agents, because a proper agent or a proper source wouldn't be on Twitter. And I can tell you that for a fact, because I know people who've given us information and I know the jobs that they've got, and they wouldn't put themselves on Twitter, because they aren't just people sat at home getting phone calls off United players who've got the time to be on Twitter. They are people working in papers, news agencies, big corporations who deal with all sorts of things. They haven't got the time to be on Twitter calling themselves MUFC agents. So all of them are fake, to be honest with you. I've never come across one that's any good, and we've never been fed any information from them that's any good. So there you go. Harsh but fair. Stephen Cinnamons makes a good point. What are your thoughts about Pepe from Real Madrid on a free for a year? No thanks. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but no thanks from me. Hothead. And he is total dead wood from Real Madrid. I don't want him. Mourinho might quite like him. Portuguese, obviously. I don't know whether Mourinho's ever managed him. He will have done at Real Madrid, presumably. But Premier League's very fast-paced for somebody to come in the back end of their career and think that they can make a difference. But it's not a bad shout. I certainly wouldn't say it's a no, but it's not a bad shout. Tamid says that Adam McCullough hates me. God, I won't sleep tonight. Please, Adam, like me. He doesn't even bloody well know me. I haven't spoken to him for 2 years, so I don't know who he... I don't know. Nasty, odd person. I'm not going to say anything back. I don't abuse people. It's childish. So we'll move on from that. Especially friendly fire. I'm bored of it. I'm absolutely bored of friendly fire. Somebody was telling me today that somebody's done a video again with my face on it. I just think, we're Manchester United fans. There are 19 other clubs in the Premier League that don't like us. And most of those have got some sort of Twitter account, fan channel or anything like that. Why are you wasting your time attacking the United fan content? And at the end of the day, as I said the other day, the United Stand isn't me, Mark Goldbridge. It isn't. The United Stand is the 3,300 people watching live. the 20,000 people who will watch it over the next 24 hours. That's the United Stand. It's a community for United fans to talk about United football stuff, and we all enjoy doing it together. Why do people have to attack it? What's your problem? And they think by attacking me, they'll undermine what the United Stand is. But I'm not the United Stand. You lot are. So when they attack me, they're effectively attacking you, and that's why it bounces off us, because I'm not going to take anything personally. Anyway, back to the football. Somebody just said Idrissa Gueye from Everton. I do like him, but I don't think we will be in for him. But, you know, we don't know. We don't know. And I think this time next week will start to get interesting, because people won't be under a lot of players won't be under their international clubs. So they'll have freedom, and they might be on holiday, but they'll still have freedom. Manalas or Koulibaly, says Daniel Steen. I do like both. Ross Harrington has made a contribution of £1. If that's Ross who does the United Stands, you didn't need to give us a quid, mate, but thank you very much. And Bounce XMLX says, this channel is full of crap. Nothing imminent regarding Manchester United. You see, there's another one. Absolute nonsense. Thinks they're in the know. They know absolutely nothing. They don't know who we speak to. They don't know where we get our information from. And they clearly don't keep their ears open anyway. Because when have I said that United are definitely signing any player? I haven't. I've said that Morata and Perisic will be finalised in the next few days, which it will, which is basically from Morata's agent, and the fact that Manchester United will have to finalise something with Perisic in the next few days, or the deal won't happen. That's from Inter Milan. So that's what we're giving you today. I need to update my Skype. That's what somebody just said, which is interesting. Somebody else, Anna Banjas says 100,000 subscribers incoming. Yes, hopefully. We've got lots planned for you. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, click that subscribe button, get involved. We're live every night at 8:30. We've got the transfer daily every morning at 7 a.m. We react to any transfer news instantly. It's going to be a great summer like last summer, so get involved with the United Stand. But most importantly, get involved with that thing to my left, that community. Brilliant. You're absolutely brilliant. You're what make this channel. And if you've stumbled upon this channel, you've found something absolutely amazing, because I don't think there's anything better than what's to my left or what's below me if you're not watching live. Absolutely brilliant. Ranuk Dash has made another contribution. He says, if Zlatan leaves, I will not be happy with just Morata. We need someone like Javier Hernandez on the bench as well. Good comment, Ranuk, and it's exactly what I said last night, isn't it? If Zlatan goes and Rooney goes and we just get Morata, we leave ourselves really short. I'm sure that we'll be signing somebody else as well. Let's try Jamie Sanders. He's been trying to get on for a while. Jamie, can you hear me? Skype is problematic tonight, isn't it? It really is. Let's try somebody else. Robert. Okay, that's not working. Josh. It's not letting me take any calls now. I've got people calling me in, and I'm hitting the green button, and it's not doing it. Kevin McDermott, thanks for the contribution, pal. I hope I'm still live. Yes, I am. I think we will. I think on reflection, we will have to do another Skype show, won't we? Because it's been I wouldn't say it's a car crash, because it's never a car crash to be live with you lot. I'm just going to hit the live comments for the rest of the show now. But for the lucky 3 who got on the Skype, you were fantastic. Please do drop a like for them. They are brilliant. Everyone who gets on the Skype show is brilliant. We do it Monday and Thursday. I'm not going to count tonight as a Skype show. We'll definitely do it again. Probably we'll feed it in either tomorrow at 8:30 or Saturday. But I'm not having you lot missing your slots. I love it when you call in. Consistently great. We always do it live, and we'll do it again. But 3 of you got on tonight. But let's crack on for the next few minutes and take some of your live comments, because Saturday night at 8 o'clock, a little bit early, is normally a Snapchat Q&A and a live comments and Twitter, which we will bring in, and I can mirror the Snapchat stuff in the future, but I'm not set up for it at the moment. So let's take some of your live comments, and we'll do it that way. Silky John's notification says Perisic deal won't go through until late June, as Inter Milan have until the 30th of June to comply with financial fair play. Yeah, I spoke about that a couple of days, didn't I? A couple of days ago. So Inter Milan have got to pay £30 million by the end of June, generated from income Otherwise, they don't comply with the financial fair play. They can't. They've got rich owners, but the rich owners can't just chuck. It's like Man City. They can't just chuck their oil money in. They've got to find ways of doing it. And Man City are very good at making it look like legitimate income when it's really coming from other means. And Inter Milan just haven't got the time to do that. So they're going to either have to sell players very quickly. They're trying to sell other players other than Perisic, but it's probably why United are bartering a bit. Shanawaz says follow Di Marzio to get the best Manchester United transfer news. Well, I've been telling you that for 2 years. He's spot on, and that's part of the reason I'm still hanging on to Mbappe, because that's been going on for a couple of months from Di Marzio. So we'll see what happens. Eamon McDermott says, when you've got a large community, you will inevitably attract the occasional plonker. Oh yeah, every community's got their, shall we say, tits. But Callum Armstrong subscribed when we had 35,000 subscribers. Good job, mate. Look, I'm really looking forward to doing the 100,000 subscriber thing. I know some of you will have joined today, some of you will have been there 3 years ago, but there's a story behind the United Stand, and it used to be me in my living room without the graphics, with United pictures behind me and everything like that. We're bringing it all back. It's going to be really good. Ranuk Dash has made another contribution. He says, Mark, I've subscribed to this channel since 2 weeks, and this is all I watch on YouTube. Just want to let you know you're doing a fantastic job, and this is by far the best fan channel ever. Well, I never fail to be humiliated, humbled by those sort of comments, but I'll always throw it back. We're always hungry for more. We don't sit still on the United Stand because we stand. But no, we're always going for the next thing, but we never ever forget or lose fact of the chat. The fact that it's all about you lot. And we couldn't do live stuff for 3 days at the start of this week because of something ridiculous with FIFA. And I hated it. And that's why I moved it to my channel, because live content is what we're all about. Interaction. I don't like pre-recorded videos. We could sit back and do top 10 transfers, and I know I'm good at it. I am an editor. I can do it, and Drawty's very good at it, and we can do little overlays, and we can like get the players up and everything like that. But that's not what the United Stand is. It's about real opinion, and the best way you get that is the way that we do it and the way you get involved. So absolutely fantastic. Mark, do you think we could be linked to Corentin Talisso? Says Daniel Elliott. No, because I don't know who it is. How to make a super chat, Mark, says M. Beek. Look, it's not available in every country. If you do contribute to the United Stand, I know a lot of you do Twitch and stuff. It's at the bottom of the live comments. You'll see a $sign. If you click that, you can contribute what you like. Make sure you leave us a question, and we'll always shout it out because we obviously appreciate it. And remember, 25% of it is going to charity. In fact, we'll be doing one in about 2 weeks because we started it 2 weeks ago. And we'll be letting you know where it's going and how much for. But it's not available in every country. It's at Di Marzio on Twitter for people, at DIMARZIO. And if you're going to follow him on Twitter, make sure you follow at United Stand MUFC, all one word. Renato Lewis says, Mark, what do you think of Naby Keita? He's the one who's at Red Bull Leipzig, isn't it? I sort of say let him go to Liverpool. I don't think he's all that. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's the next Kante. I don't think he'll make Liverpool fantastic at all. And talking about transfers, I know some people are getting a bit frustrated by the lack of transfer activity from United, but Liverpool, I mean, if you want embarrassing, their last 28 years has been embarrassing, but they seem to want to just keep adding to that. Baju says you should give things to the subscribers too. Mate, we just 2 weeks ago we gave away 2 Manchester United away tops, and we'll be doing that away with the new top comes in. We're more than happy giving stuff away, and we do get offered things from sort of people who want to get involved with it as well, which we'll always give to you lot. We must have given away about 7 or 8 United tops already this season, so we're always looking to do that for you as well. Don't worry about that. Somebody just said we should buy Van Dijk. Mark, starting 11 next season, formation and thoughts, says Mike D. Well, I'm going to do a video on that because I did one last year. I think it's a really good thing to do. I did my top 5 signings last night. If anyone didn't watch that, it's on the videos on the United Stand. I got 1 out of 5 last year when I tried it. I'm hopeful I'm going to get 2. I'm sort of hoping I might get 3, which would be fantastic. So we'll see what happens with that. I will do my Manchester United 11, but I'm going to wait off a little bit because I want to sort of do it towards the end of the month, maybe the start of July, when I've got a better idea of who we're signing. Because to do it in the dark, it's very difficult. But I'll happily answer it because it's interesting. So my 11 for United next year would be De Gea in goal, Valencia right back, Bailly and Lindelof, and my left back would be Luke Shaw, although I don't expect it to be. So that would be my back 4. My midfield 3 would be Fabinho, Herrera and Pogba as a midfield 3. I'd have Morata up front. I'd have Perisic on the left, and I'd have Mbappe on the right. Let's see. If somebody needs to be scribbling that down now, because I'll change my mind. But it'll be interesting to see how right I was on that. We'll see. John Menton says keep an eye on Patrick Herman, a swift winger with great crossing. Level Up says, what's the story with Zlatan? How long does he have left in his contract? Well, apparently tomorrow he's going to be released. So we'll go live when that happens. We've done a video a couple of weeks ago that he's probably going to be released. We could have easily done a video on it tonight, but I want to wait till tomorrow because it's not, I'm more than happy to go live on breaking news. Like last night, we went live just before 11 o'clock with this 60 million bid for Morata. And if anything happens tonight, we'll do it again. And or in the day tomorrow we'll do it, but there has to be some credibility to it. I don't go live off Sky Sports breaking news because it may as well be in the Sun. And Jason Garbutt's noted my 11. We'll see. And I think next season it'll be more about a squad as well, because if you think about that 11 I've given you there's no Mata in there, there's no Fellaini in there, there's no Martial in there. No Lingard, obviously. I don't really want him anywhere near it. But Fosu Mensahs, your Twansibis. I think next season is the time to judge Mourinho, because next season he hasn't got the excuse of just starting on July the 1st. He's had a whole season. He's seen the problems many of us, the fans, have seen the years before he was there. This summer, when he starts the season, he's had 3 transfer windows. You judge Mourinho properly next year because that's his team. And I think we've got a challenge for the Premier League. Pogba moaning that there's no Martial though. No, Martial will be part of the team. It's not about 11. It's not about your first 11 because you'll have injuries, lack of form, suspensions. We need 18 players that are all first team players, and you rotate it that way. Lee Grant says, Mark, do you think we're going to play 4-4-1? Think about it. It makes sense. I don't know. I think many people are moving away from the fact that we'll play a number 10, which, to be honest, I think that will suit Pogba because he played better in a midfield 3 for Juventus with no number 10. So I think I sort of agree as well that Herrera and Pogba are probably going to be sort of first names on the sheet for Mourinho from now on. Cybervez says Mbappe over Morata for me. Well, he is apparently the number 1 priority and Morata's number 2. Read that as you will. Does it mean we can't get the number 1 priority? That's why we're going for Morata? Or when we get Morata, and if we get Morata, does that mean that we'll still go for Mbappe? Stuart Bremner says, why not Aubameyang? He seems to be perfect. Yes, Stuart, I agree, but for whatever reason, we're not in there. But he still hasn't signed for PSG, so there is hope. Mkhitaryan and Fabinho will be our best players next season, says Adventure is out there. Well, as somebody said last night, and it's very, very true, the Mkhitaryan, Martial, Luke Shaw, if they stay, which I suspect they will, at least 2 of them, they could be like new signings next year if they get it and start playing consistently well, because they didn't last season. Ranuk Dash again with another contribution. Next season, Mkhitaryan will show his true self. More goals, more assists. People are forgetting about him. Absolute beast. Yes, he didn't actually have a very good season last year. I know he scored a couple of really good goals, a very important one in the Europa League, but he was a shadow of the player that I know from Dortmund. And if he can find that consistency, he can be one of the best players in the league. Been here since you've had 27,000 subscribers, says Ronald, number 7. Just joined the live comments, and it's amazing how the United stand has grown. It grows because of you lot. I know people like to blow wind up my arse and say, oh, it wouldn't work without you. But I feed off you. I do. And that's the truth. And I'm very consistent about that. What do you think of England under 21s getting to the World Cup final? Good for the future, says Chocolate Cake 2001. Yeah, it is. I used to be really interested in England. But it's so political and the FA are so badly run. I hope one day they can sort it out. All right, okay. Apparently, I've missed a few super chats, so I just want to make sure that I've hit them, because if people are contributing, obviously, we don't want to miss those. Half an hour till the exit poll for those in the UK. Squeaky bum time. I know a lot of you are passionate about Labour, by the way. It's not lost on me. I'm not going to give away where I voted or anything like that, because I don't believe in it. I've been annoyed on Facebook by a lot of my friends throughout the week, and on Twitter by people that I really respect, celebrities as well, and they've really turned me off them because of their absolute ramming it down the throat of people of who they should vote for. And the one thing about democracy that I would always say, and the one thing that United Stand is always built upon from day one, is look, my opinion's my opinion, your opinion's your opinion. And I think the great thing the United Stand works really well is because nobody ever agrees on 100% of things. So you might agree with me 7 times out of 10, but 3 times you might think, what a knobhead. And that's what it's like. That's what I started it for. And I started it about 4 years ago. The idea was in my head. I was lying on a pool in Mallorca on a sun lounger. Love it. I love Mallorca. And I was lying there and I was thinking, you know what? Football's going down the pan. There's so much money in it. The corporate entities are just totally and utterly ignoring the fans, and fans are what football's all about. And I thought, when I'm down the pub talking to my mates about United, Liverpool or whatever, and we're arguing, because I've got a couple of friends who are Liverpool fans, we never agree on anything. We are really good mates, but we never agree on anything really. And I thought, if you can replicate that on a fan channel, and we've certainly done it over the last few years, thanks to you lot, that is brilliant. So obviously I have to sort of give you my opinion for you to feed off, but I see what you're saying and you get to come on and everything. We have our guests and we feed off each other, and it's absolutely fantastic. So I would never ever be one of those people on Twitter, Facebook or whatever telling you who you should vote for. How pedantic, how arrogant that is. It's your democratic right to vote for whoever you want to vote for, and it's your democratic right to have your opinion on football however you want it, and don't let anybody ever tell you any different. Moses has made a contribution. He says, sell Lingard and buy Lozano. I'd be happy. I would be ecstatic. I love Irving Lozano. I don't know whether he'd work out or not, Mexican, but I really do like him. Theo Newby's made a contribution. Thank you, Theo. Thuby. It's your new name, Theo Newby. Thoughts on Zlatan's season and what next for him? I want to cover it tomorrow, Theo, if he goes. But very quickly, he had a good season. It could have been slightly better, but he answered all the critics. I was massively positive about his signing Zlatan last summer, and I said, people were saying he won't get 20 goals. I said throughout his career, he's always been a goal every other game man, and he will continue to do that. And he did, but it is time to go. Jonathan Ledrum's made a contribution. Mark, 2 trophies with his team last year, with a few quality signings and a year under the belt of Pogba, Bay, Mkhitaryan. Premier League is realistic. Jonathan, I totally agree with you. Mourinho always wins the title in his first 2 years. I think he's got a job on to do it, but I'm backing him to do it. Right, I've done that. Jonathan Lendrum also made a £1 contribution. Thanks for that, Jonathan. Kevin McDermott did. Thank you, Kevin. Ranuk says if Zlatan, we did that one. Moses says Griezmann is a top tier striker, but he really shines when he has a second striker next to him. Strikers like Morata can handle being a long striker. Yeah, Moses, thanks for the contribution, but I don't think we're getting Griezmann, pal. Juan Carlos Riaz Guajardo, thanks for the contribution. He says, we overpay because we are a richest club and clubs know it, which is a fair point. We've done that from Bit V. We've done that. Alec Dukas, thank you. He says, Mark, we need a player like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Totally agree. Maybe get Javier Hernandez back. Morata can handle being a lone striker with Herrera, Pogba and maybe James Rodriguez to feed him. Long and creative balls, he can do wonders. That's from Moses. We did Craig McCullough Games, and we did Tyler, and we did Mark. We did Eric Clausen, did we? Mark, I would be happy if we got Morata and or Aubameyang for the cash we may use for Mbappe. Still drooling for Perisic. Your thoughts? I don't think we did do Eric. Yes. Yeah, thanks for that, Eric. And I'm happy to get Perisic. I have been from the start. International break back at the end of March, we broke it. And I'm happy to get him. More than happy. Ranuk Dash, can I please repeat? Just go back and watch it, mate. And Shara Cora with his negative, he always makes a super chat, so thank you, but he's always negative. He says, keep on taking rejects, that's why you fail in the UEFA Champions League. You said that last night, mate. Why are you wasting your contribution? Because you said it last night. And we've not really been in the Champions League. I'm really looking forward to being back in the Champions League, by the way. Very, very excited about it. Anyway, let me come back to all you lot on the live comments. Santos Rabbi says, is Morata assured? Not yet. He isn't assured yet, but I'm sure he will do. I think he will do. I'm not going to say I'm sure. I'm not doing that this summer because, well, I will do done deals, but there's nobody I'm done deal sure about at the moment. And all I would say is, I reacted last summer to a source and in December, and I've been. I told you 2 days ago. I've been told 99% that Lindelof is coming to Manchester United, and I'll be happy with that. But I'm not going to say it's a done deal because I got it wrong with Lindelof in January. But it's a good source. I'm openly telling you, but I'm not saying it because I was wrong on Lindelof in January, and I don't want to be wrong again. But take it as you will. 3,000 of you heard it. However many watched the video. I said it to you 2 days ago. Lindelof to United is apparently 99% done, and it will happen next week. That's what I've been told. Let's see what happens. Joseph Milner says, thoughts on Michael Keane, or would you prefer Lindelof? I would prefer Lindelof. I've probably watched Michael Keane more, but I've watched Lindelof quite a lot, especially over the last 6 months, and I just think he's got more growth in him. I think Mourinho can get more out of him. And I think he's not Vidic, but he reminds me more of Vidic than Michael Keane does because he is tough, he's good in the air, and he's actually good. He's actually good on the ball. He's good on the ball. He's quite creative as well. So, Lindelof would be better, but let's see what happens. Thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you've dropped a like on the video. We're very close to 1,000 likes already when we've only been live for an hour, which is fantastic. For those who got on, brilliant. For those who didn't, sorry, we've had Skype problems tonight. I'll probably do it tomorrow night to get you back on. Keep getting involved. Subscribe if you're new. We're very close to 99,000, and I think as soon as we hit 99,000, we're all going to start to get very, very excited. But fantastic community. I know the show's been a bit up and down tonight because of technical difficulties. That's what you get with live. I do apologise for it, but I don't apologise for it because I've never stopped doing live to give you perfect content. You know, as I said, we could have overlays, we could have things shooting in and around, you know, all sorts of stuff. Very, very easy for us to do. But I put live content ahead of anything because it's interactive and it's real. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. But I stand by it. I think it's the way we should be doing things. Moses, thanks for the contribution. He says, life's too short to worry about what other people do or don't do. Tend to your own backyard, not theirs, because yours is the one you have to live in. And I don't know what that's to do with football, Moses, but it's a very, very good one as well. And I think it's certainly the approach the United stand takes now. Not really interested in friendly fire or what other people are doing. Always up for banter, but none of the malicious stuff, none of the abusive stuff. Come on, grow up. It's football. Thanks everyone for watching. Back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with a transfer daily, unless something happens in the next couple of hours before we go to sleep. We will react to that, but I don't know. I don't know whether anything will. But thanks everyone. Really enjoyed the show tonight, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.